Hi, once again a very good evening. So this is the fifth time I'm trying to be live again. So let's see how it goes. So I hope it is streaming live. So let me just check out. Okay. Yeah. So today the topic for discussion is the 5 a.m. club. So how many of us have the habit of waking up early in the morning? So as I mentioned previously also. So what is the importance of waking up early in the morning, and how is it going to have a positive impact both on personal as well as professional life? And we'll also share various tips, practical tips in order to make it feasible to wake up early in the morning, right? So it's almost a universal phenomenon where each one of us struggle to wake up early in the morning, right? So we really hate waking up early in the morning. Even I personally hate waking up early. We're having some interruptions. I'm really sorry for it. Anyways, we'll try to we'll try to improve the connectivity here over here, right? I think we have some issues with connectivity, right? So as I'm saying, so we hate waking up early in the morning, right? So how can we really tune ourselves or condition ourselves into waking up early in the morning? So it's an universal fact that we all hate waking up early in the morning. Even I personally, as I've been telling you, hate waking up early. But for the past few weeks, I've been trying this and it's been quite fantastic. And I'm a great follower of Robin Sharma, and even he authored a book called as The 5 a.m. Club. And I mean, if you go through it, it's really wonderful. I've checked his blog, I've checked his mails, and it's quite interesting, impressive. And once you start following it, you will definitely have a great positive impact on what you're doing. Either it can be either personally or professionally, right? So we'll just start with the quote of Robin Sharma, and I hope it is streaming live, right? So we're having some interruptions. We might be having some interruptions, so please don't mind. And so we'll start with the quote of Robin Sharma. Rise at 5 a.m. Spend the first hour on fitness, gratitude, and reading. The way you start your day drives how beautifully you live it, right? I'll just repeat it. Rise at 5 a.m. Spend the first hour on fitness, gratitude, and reading. The way you start your day drives how beautifully you live it. So as we have been trying, for the past 2 weeks, we are having these 5 a.m. live sessions, and it's quite interesting also. See, what really drives us to wake up early in the morning? Why do you think most of us hate waking up early in the morning? What could be the reason? It's because we don't have these huge dreams. Jim Collins, the author of Good to Great, he mentions that everyone should have BHAG. BHAG stands for big, hairy, audacious goals. So when you have these big, hairy, audacious goals, when you dream big, when you have these greater goals, then obviously that itself will act as a driving force, and that kicks you out of bed early in the morning. And I've tried this personally. The moment when we were starting this project of NEET MDS online coaching, way back last year, November, December, the thought itself would push me up early in the morning. I never used to stay longer than the way in which I imagined. If the alarm goes off at 5 a.m., I used to wake up at 5:10, and immediately I would start my day immediately. So what goal you have, that really plays a key role, and the passion which you show towards that, it acts as a driving force and helps you wake up early in the morning. So why should we wake up early in the morning? So what benefits are we going to get when we wake up early in the morning, right? So as I said, and as Robin Sharma rightly says, and I quote, rising at 5 a.m. and spending the first hour on fitness, reading, and gratitude drives your life very beautifully, because these early morning hours, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m., they have the least interruptions. because no one is going to interrupt at that time. You're not going to get a lot many calls, not going to get a lot many messages over there. So the particular time period from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m., it's your time, it's purely your time. So you'll have a lot of time, quality time to focus on your dreams, to focus on your priorities, rather than just getting into the hectic schedule which you will be having every day, right? So why rise early in the morning? So the first reason is you'll have more productivity. You rise early in the morning, you'll have more productivity, because once you start getting up early in the morning, you'll have plenty of time, plenty of your time. And the reason here is early morning you're going to have least interruptions, so you'll have time to focus on what your priorities are, and that's really going to give you a clarity of how your day is going to be, and it will definitely improve the quality of your personal as well as professional life. Just try this and you'll understand. And secondly, we usually don't have this habit of exercising early in the morning, but exercising early in the morning, 5 to 6 a.m. or 6 to 7 a.m., depending upon your convenience, is going to make you physically fit. So that's one benefit you're going to have. And secondly, when you're physically fit, you're also mentally fit. You'll feel more energetic. You'll feel more confident. So you're going to have a lot many benefits when you wake up early in the morning and have this fitness training, or go hit a gym or do some exercise, right? So we do not have these habits, but once you start incorporating them in a gradual manner, then definitely you will see a positive impact, right? So I've been trying this for the past few weeks, and it's quite going on well, right? So definitely you can try this and you will see the positive benefit. So that's the second benefit you have. So you'll have more productivity because you'll have least interruptions. You'll have more time for exercising, right? Physically staying fit is very important, right? And of course you look good physically, and that again adds up to your confidence, isn't it? And then most of us have this habit of skipping breakfast, but as you all know, breakfast is the most important factor that helps you stay healthy and energetic throughout the day. Skipping a breakfast, it's like cutting your glucose, and you will not feel good. And as per many studies, even science proves that you feel more irritated. And you even get angry. You'll lose that self-control. If you observe, before lunch or before having some food, we feel a bit irritated and we'll have that kind of hazy thing. But once you start having something, once glucose enters, right, you definitely feel good. And science proves that also. So self-control is often associated with glucose levels, and this not according to me, according to science. So you'll have greater self-control when the glucose levels are normal. So especially before having lunch, before having breakfast, you'll have this kind of negativity creeping in you. So once you start having healthy food, once you start having food for that matter, not skipping breakfast is very important, right? You should never skip breakfast. And once you have this habit incorporated in your day-to-day activities, then you will gradually see a lot many positive changes, right? Hi Shajia ma'am, thank you so much. And also, another added benefit of waking up early in the morning is the fact that you can see a sunrise. Most of us never see sunrise, but you know what? Just have a look. We'll plan a live session early in the morning, and I'll also try to focus on sunrise. We shifted to our new house, and this is my office kind of room, and we have fields behind this room. And also we'll be having, this will be the east side, and we'll be having sunrise, right? So the appearance itself is just amazing. You'll definitely feel fresh. You'll definitely feel fresh mentally, right? So that's very important. So never miss seeing sunrise. We have this practice of Surya Namaskaras in our Indian tradition also, right? So that's even good, right? So don't miss sunrise. It's going to give you a pleasant feeling, right? So these are some of the plenty benefits you're going to get when you wake up early in the morning. You'll have more time. You feel you'll have more time because practically 5 to 8 a.m. that's plenty of time. You can study, you can work out. You can spend quality time. You can start thinking on your goals, right? So you'll have a lot many added benefits, right? You'll have plenty of time. You'll have least interruptions, and you'll have time for exercise, right? Isn't it? You'll have time for exercise, and also you can have time for having some quality breakfast, right? And most importantly, you can enjoy nature. I mean, if you're staying in a concrete jungle, a place like concrete jungle, then you might not have this advantage, but in most of the areas we often see sunrise, isn't it? So these are some of the benefits we're going to have when we wake up early in the morning, right? So the 5 a.m. club, there is a book on the 5 a.m. club authored by Robin Sharma, so you can just go through it, you can just visit his blog. We have much information over there, right? And what are all the practical tips in order to make it feasible to wake up early in the morning? See, the first thing is, if you have the habit of eating late at night, then obviously you're going to feel heavier early in the morning, right? So it's better if you stop eating after 8 p.m. So that would be one practical tip which you can incorporate in order to wake up early in the morning, right? And the second one, don't stay in bed even after the alarm clock goes off. So this is a practical experience which we all have, right? So even once we hit the snooze button and once we stay on bed, we feel like we have to sleep for another 5 or 10 minutes. That's our basic mindset, isn't it? So if that happens, then there is a greater tendency for you to sleep for an extended period of time, missing your schedule, isn't it? So never stay on bed once you hit the snooze button. Just wake up, and that's possible when you put your alarm clock or your phone alarm away from you. If it is towards or nearby, then there is a chance that you might fall into sleep again, isn't it? So when you put the alarm clock away from you, so you'll have to take the pain of waking up and going and physically switching it off, right? And that will really help you to stay up to your own expectations. And also, once you wake up from your bed, switch on the lights, turn on all the lights, so that you will not have that feeling of going and sleeping again, isn't it? Right? And most importantly, this is my personal favorite, as Jim Collins. We have one wonderful author, Jim Collins. He has authored a book called as Good to Great, where he explains you the hedgehog concept. And I've made one video on hedgehog concept. I've read his book and I've gone through his hedgehog concept. And you just go through hedgehog concept, HEDG, hedgehog concept, which I posted on YouTube. It's really wonderful, right? So the same author says that for us to wake up early, to make that possible practically, we need to have some kind of excitement. See, what wakes you up early in the morning is very important. I mean, if you don't have any goal, if you don't have any passion, I mean, if you're not really passionate for something, if you feel like, okay, chalta rahe, if you have that kind of negative or a normal kind of attitude, then that's not really going to help you. So what wakes you up early in the morning? So what makes you feel excited is very, very important. So you need to probe into what you love, and you need to probe into what your passion is and where your passion really lies. So once you realize that point, that itself will wake you up, right? So as Jim Collins rightly says, you need to set up BHAG, B-H-A-G. They are nothing but big, audacious, hairy goals. Audacious goals, or big, hairy, audacious goals, right? It's acronym. The acronym is BHAG, B-H-A-G. I'm sorry. So when you have these huge goals, right? So when you're trying to launch a project, or when you feel like you have a weekly target and you need to meet your weekly target, or when you feel like, yes, I need to spend quality time on updating myself, or when you feel like you should, I should physically look fit. I should physically look fit, so that it gives me self-confidence, right? So that drives you to wake up early in the morning and go to gym. So no matter what it is, you should have something which excites you, something which you're really passionate about. It can be teaching, it can be talking, it can be anything, any kind of activity which you feel very much interested in. So when you have these kind of goals, like, or the best example would be, how would you like to see yourself in the next 6 months? For example, if you're in your internship, how would you like to see yourself in the next 6 months or next 1 year? Do you want to see yourself as a postgraduate, or do you want to see yourself as a practitioner, or how do you want to see yourself in the next 2 years, next 3 years, next 4 years, next 5 years? Having these short-term goals and long-term goals also help you to kick yourself out of bed early in the morning, right? And as I said, set your alarm clock away from you, and also make a habit of setting alarm clock 30 minutes early, in the sense, if you adjust your time in such a way that, adjust your time fast in such a way that you feel like you're waking at 6 a.m. but in fact you're waking up at 5:30 a.m. So adjust your time accordingly, right? So that trick of fooling yourself really helps you, isn't it? And as Stanford professor B.J. Fogg, he has developed a technique called as baby steps. So according to Professor Fogg, if you have a habit of waking up at 8 a.m. every day, and if you plan to wake up suddenly at 5 a.m. and there is 100% chance that you're going to fail. So according to him, he has devised a technique where he says that, the name of the technique as mentioned by Robin Sharma is baby steps. So taking baby steps. So if you have for example, as I said, if you have the habit of waking up at 8 a.m., so set your alarm in such a way that you wake up at 7:30 a.m. the very next day. And gradually, when you get used to that waking up at 7:30 a.m. and you feel comfortable, then you need to shift your alarm clock 30 minutes ahead, 7 a.m., 6:30 a.m. So 30 minutes a shift will really help you. So these baby steps will help you and you will reach your target of waking up early in the morning, right? And turn off the lights immediately, as I mentioned, right? So these are some of the practical tips which we can really follow and implement in order to wake up early in the morning. But most importantly, this wouldn't be, there won't be proper conclusion if I don't say this. Before waking up early in the morning, the best thing you can do, or the most important thing you need to follow, is having adequate sleep. What's the point in sleeping at 2 a.m. and waking up at 5 a.m.? Then there is no point in joining this 5 a.m. club, isn't it? So you need to have adequate sleep. You should sleep at least for 6 to 8 hours. So according to various research articles, in our age group, between 20 years and 30 years or 35 years, 6 to 8 hours is the advised or advocated time period where you need to sleep, right? At least 6 to 8 hours every day is really very, very important. If you don't have this adequate sleep, then there is no point in waking up at 5 o'clock, right? You will have these hallucinations, you will have this disturbed, your entire day gets disturbed if you have inadequate sleep, right? So the most important thing is to have adequate sleep of at least 6 to 8 hours, right? So it depends on each individual. It has to be customized. You just can't standardize and say I have to sleep only for 6 hours or I have to sleep only for 8 hours, right? So there is no standardization for this, but as per the research, at least 6 to 8 hours every day, right? So that keeps you physically as well as mentally fit, right? So that's very important. So these are some of the practical tips which you can follow in order to join the 5 a.m. club. And it's not just you or me who are following this. There are many great personalities who have been following it. The 5 a.m. club. Benjamin Franklin. So various articles quote that Benjamin Franklin has the habit of waking up early in the morning at 4:30 a.m. So to give you one present day example, Apple CEO Tim Cook has the habit of waking up early in the morning, 5 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. right? So there are many people who are following this, and once you start incorporating in your daily schedule, definitely there is going to be a greater impact on not only your personal life but also your professional life, isn't it? So the 5 a.m. club, waking up early in the morning, even though we find it very much difficult, even though we struggle a lot to wake up early in the morning, there are many benefits which we are going to derive both physically and emotionally, right? So this is very, very important. And Robin Sharma, as he rightly puts up, rise at 5 a.m., spend the first hour on fitness, gratitude. You should feel happy for what you have rather than complaining on what you're not having, isn't it? Having that sense of gratitude is going to lighten your mood, and it's going to keep you very, very happy, isn't it? So rise at 5 a.m., spend the first hour on fitness, gratitude, and reading. We don't have this, most of us don't have this habit of reading, but reading really is a very powerful tool to train your brain. If I say you lift a dumbbell or use a dumbbell to train your muscle physically, then reading is what dumbbell is for muscle, your reading habit is for your brain, right? So you will have more enlightenment, more realization, right? So you will understand in depth whatever you're going through, right? So reading is a very, very important habit which you have. Okay, so we had a slight interruption, right? I'm really sorry for it. Right. So waking up at 5 a.m., focusing on fitness, gratitude, and reading. And the way you start your day drives how beautiful you're going to live it, right? And your most valuable hours are 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. because you're going to have the least interruptions possible. But for this to be practically feasible, along with the tips which I shared as given by Robin Sharma, you need to have adequate sleep. So adequate sleep is the key, and once once you go bed early, then there is a greater chance for you to wake up early, isn't it? Right. So these are the tips which I wanted to share, and I hope it's of some use for you. Right. So we'll update the same video on YouTube as well, right? And we'll try to be live on YouTube from next live session. Right. Hi Gina. Hi. So how is it going? So this week we had some live sessions also. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, somehow we're having some network issues, right? I think it's better if I conclude sooner. Right. So, hi Sirisha, I'm just seeing your comments now. Yeah, yes, Bharadwaj, there might be, yes, we are facing some connection problems today. Right. Hi Neetu. Is it going on live still? Hi Renu. Hi Katya. I hope it's going on live. I'm not sure again. Again, I'm live. Okay, fine. So, thanks, Pooja. Thanks for your comment. And Shazia, ma'am, glad that you commented, joined, and glad that you joined us live. Thank you so much for your blessings, and you have been constantly supporting me right from the beginning of my UG days. Thank you so much. And hi, Dad. So my dad just joined me live. Okay, right. So I'll try to just it's live, sir, but buffering is also going. Yes, yes, Neetu. The streaming is offline for some time. Again, it's going on live. Anyways, I'll just try to summarize all that I've discussed. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know like when we'll be having signal or when it's going offline. So the 5 a.m. club. So just have this habit of waking up early in the morning, and you'll see drastic differences in personal as well as professional life, right? So why rise early in the morning? So it's going to be more productive. You'll have time for. Okay, right. Again, we're live. So, so you're going to enjoy sunrise also, right? So, yeah, yes, Avadia, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. And that's a wonderful quote, and thank you so much for sharing it, right? So, a few practical tips: don't eat after 8 p.m., don't stay in bed after alarm clock goes off, and set big, hairy, audacious goals which really inspire you and which help you get out of bed, right? You should have that sense. And make have a habit of incorporating these baby steps, right? So start getting up 30 minutes in 30 minutes increment, right? If you have a habit of waking up at 7 a.m, 6:30 a.m, 6 a.m, 5:30 a.m, 5 a.m, right? So take these baby steps, and the chances of succeeding are very high. And move the alarm clock away from your bed. Turn on lights immediately the sooner you wake up, and most importantly, have adequate sleep of at least. Yeah, as Avadia rightly said, early to bed, early to rise makes a man and a woman, right? Man and a woman healthy, wealthy, and wise, right? And thank you so much for sharing your quote, Avadia. Glad to hear from you, right? So we'll just conclude the session, right? We're having many network issues today. Somehow we'll try to come up with, maybe we're having some signal problems, I guess, here because of climate or something. So we'll try to be live again. So from Monday, right? So again from next week, we'll try to have live sessions as usual. I'll share the schedule in social media, right? Facebook and also WhatsApp, and regarding the next week's live sessions, right? So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, right? We're going to have 4 live sessions next week. So if in case you feel like you haven't followed today's topic so well, we'll briefly discuss the same in one of the live sessions next week, right? So thank you so much, all of you, for joining, and glad to see you all alive, right? So enjoy your weekend and keep smiling, right? And thank you so much for your constant support and motivation, right? Have a great night, and just make sure that you sleep early and stay healthy, right? So take care. Good night. Bye. So when I'm saying bye, now it's live. When I've been talking, it's not live. So great injustice is being done, right? So we'll go offline, right? Yeah. Take care. Bye bye.